The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
Okay, good evening everyone. We'll call the meeting to order. And tonight, first of all, under presentations, we have from Take Action Radon, we have Pam Walkentith and Sandy Hutchinson. I hope I said your names okay, or a close facsimile thereof. Please take it away.
All right, sounds good. I will lead the presentation and then I'll hand it over to Sandy at the end. Both Sandy and I will answer questions at the end if there is any.
Okay, thank you, Pam.
All right, thank you. So thanks so much for having us. We conducted a survey in the town of Estevan over this last year, and so we're excited to be able to present the results. My name is Pam Workington, and I'm the Executive Director of CARST and the Project Manager on Take Action on Radon. And Sandy Hutchison is with Health Canada, the Regional Specialist, Radiation Specialist for the Manitoba-Sask region. And we are proud to be here. Take Action on Radon is proud to unite members from across the country, which encompass the traditional territory of many First Nation people. And both Sandy and I are coming in from the Winnipeg area, and we are coming in from Treaty 1, homeland of the Anishinaabe Cree, OG Cree, Dakota, Dene people, and homeland of the Métis. So thanks so much for giving us this time tonight. The Radon Test Kit Challenge is a program that runs under our Take Action on Radon banner, and it provides 100 free radon tests to citizens, and it's a turnkey program. So we provided all the tools and resources, however, and it's no cost to the community, but we do require staff time, so we certainly appreciate all the staff time that the community provided us. It was both the library and the city, so really thankful for that collaboration there with us to help get the radon test kits out to the community. This program hasn't just been run in Estevan or in Saskatchewan. It's actually a national program, and we've run it for the last 5 years in over 120 communities, 9 provinces, 5 First Nations, and 2 Métis groups. And so we've been able to distribute over 14,000 test kits. And we run it in both small and large communities. And so you can see the list on the screen there of communities coast to coast. So we certainly run it in the prairies, but we've also run it on the west coast and the east coast. Now, the reason that we run this program is to get people aware of radon. And radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. And exposure to radon also greatly increases a smoker's risk of getting lung cancer. And so Health Canada estimates over 3,000 Canadians per year die of radon-related lung cancer. Radon is a gas. It's a radioactive gas that comes from the soil. It can enter any building that has contact with the soil and move up in throughout the building, so it doesn't just stay in the basement. It can go up through all areas of the building, but typically highest levels are found in the basement or the first floor, so that's often where we recommend people do the testing. And Health Canada recommends that all buildings be tested using a 3-month test during the heating season, and any building that's found with levels above 200 becquerels per meter cube be reduced. And so as part of this project, we launched it through the heating season and provided up to 100 test kits. And at this point now, each participant should have received their test kits. And we had at least 66 people who completed the test. There are a few people out there that still may have their tests, and they certainly can return them if they've opened them. Or if they forgot to open them last year, they can actually still open them this fall now and leave them again for the 3 months and still get the results as well. So this is an idea of the individual's test results. And so at this part, we've now taken all the data from those 66 detectors and summarized it into a report, and that's what we're presenting tonight. And so of those 66 households, 24% of the tests were above 200, and so you can see in our graph on the right that they were actually all between the 200 and 600 level, and then there was, so those are shown in the the red section of the graph. 27 of them, or 41%, were between 100 and 200, and then 23 or 35% were under the 100 level. And so we've put together a few stats based on some of the information that participants have provided us. So most of the participants were in single detached homes. However, there was one participant who had a semi-detached home, and then 2 participants that were part of ground floor or apartment condos. And one of those was high and one of those was low. And then we also asked participants if they own or rent their units. And so there was also a bit of a mix here of owners and renters. However, all the people who rented were below the 200 level. And then another question we ask is just readiness to mitigate. And you can see that there was a good percentage of people who would like to take action, either very likely or quite likely to take action. However, there's also a group that were undecided or unlikely. And so this just gives us a little bit understanding of maybe some awareness that we need to continue to do to help motivate people that may have high levels to make sure that they do take action to reduce their level. And this is quite common that we see the number can be above or below level at any age. And so there you can see that there's many different age groups here that the red is above 200 and the green is below 200. And so what we recommend is that it doesn't matter what year your house is built, any age of construction can have high levels. And then as part of the project, we produce a public-facing report. And so this will be the report that we're releasing. And it's a summary of the data that I just presented. The green, again, yellow, and red show the distribution of the radon test levels in the 66 homes that we tested. This is a one-page report that's available now on our website. And the front page is specific to the project that we ran in Estevan. And then the second page is general information. So it has some basic information about building codes, as well as information on mitigation and how to reduce your radon levels. And then it also has information for anybody who may be looking for a test that hasn't tested, as well as some basic information about radon. And the good news is that for anybody who tested above the 200 level, there are certified professionals across the country and including in the province of Saskatchewan. So you can go to our website and find a list of professionals who are certified to help with reducing it. And so that's at www.cnrpp.ca. And then there also has recently been a national mitigation grant. So this is available for anyone who themselves has a lung cancer diagnosis or who may qualify as a low or moderate income. And so they can apply for a $1,500 grant through the Canadian Lung Association. And then we also have radon action guides, which Health Canada has distributed, and Sandy can certainly answer more questions about. But these guides give municipalities information about actions that you can take with increasing awareness, suggestions of examples of what other municipalities have done, and then some suggestions for policy changes. And so really, you can go through a checklist here that we've provided, but you can go on the website and download these for yourself. And so that's our presentation for this evening, and we can answer questions if there are any.
Okay, thank you so much, Pam, Sandy. We'll open the floor now for questions or comments from members of council. The report was very well done. I see we do have one hand up. Councillor Vroba.
Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you for coming tonight and doing your presentation. So we did have the 60-some participants. Will you be doing this again in Estevan, offering the free kits?
We certainly are willing to work with municipalities to see what types of legacy programs they want to do. We would like to see more awareness continue in the city, so we certainly are willing to work with you if you're interested.
Okay, yeah, so could we maybe direct this towards the city manager to look into this and see if we can, because I know last year after the program had already ended, we did have someone inquire about getting a kit, but it was to the library and it had already been done. So I think if we did it again, we might get another 100 people that would participate.
Okay, I'm sure we can hand it over to the good offices of the city manager and he will deal with that. Councillor Vroba. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, thank you both for a very good report. and we urge people, if they do have questions or if they're a little bit concerned, I know there's places in Regina that will come out to Estevan and test. I don't know, do you know, Pam, Sandy, is there a local company that does it here in town?
I'll let Sandy answer that one.
Sandy?
Last time I looked at the list, there was not, but you're right, Regina is not too far away. I think all professionals aim to serve as large a community as it takes. Most are very passionate about this topic, and typically they have some very personal connection or just deeply passionate reason for helping take action on radon.
Okay, well, thank you both again for the document and for your work in this area. Much appreciated.
Good, thanks so much.
Thank you, and good night.
Bye.
Okay, moving forward, could we have a motion, please, to adopt the agenda as presented? Thank you. Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor Ford. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, could we have a motion, please, to accept the minutes of the council meeting held on August 21st? Councillor Walliser, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Cernak. Thank you, and I'd like to thank Councillor Frank again for doing a very capable job in my absence the last two meetings. No one stormed the podium, so that meant that you did a good job, Councillor Frank, and thank you for that. Okay, next, under original communications, delegations, and petitions, it's a pleasure to announce our new building official, Matt Stepp. Matt, yeah, if you wanted to turn the mic on, and again, welcome to the city of Estevan, and thank you so much. We look forward to having a good working relationship.
Thank you, Worship. Yeah, I've been pretty much around Estevan my whole life. I grew up in Torquay till I was about 14, then we moved to town. And I've been working in the construction industry for almost a decade now, and I've been a journeyman since 2020. And I kind of just look forward to this new chapter in my life.
That's great, and we're looking forward to having you with our employee, and I know there's a lot of good people coming out of Torquay area. That's one of our satellite communities. A lot of good people in Torquay. Any questions or comments from members of council? Councillor Ford.
Thanks, Your Worship. I just wanted to say welcome, and we look forward to working with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Matt. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Okay, next, under written reports.
We need a motion to.
Oh, I guess we should. Sorry. Thank you, City Clerk. I'm getting rusty having missed the last couple of meetings. I guess we should have a motion to accept Matt in his new role. Thank you, Councillor Walliser, seconded by Councillor Vroba. Ready for the question? All in favor? Passed. There you go, Matt. Very endorsing round of support. So there you go. You've started. You've come to a good start. Thank you. Okay, next, under written reports of committees, we have from Creighton Lodge, the minutes of July 20th. Could we have a motion, please, to accept those? Thank you. Councillor Frank, seconded by Councillor Clark. Anything, Councillor Vroba, you'd like to add? Who's on that board? Councillor Frank?
That'll be myself. Just as always, things are wonderful at Creighton Lodge. There's a nice long waiting list of people who would love to live there, and I know our management team is constantly working through to get people housed and comfortable in a great place to live in our community. So. Okay,
thank you, Councillor Frank. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under written reports of committees, we have from the Southeast Transportation Planning Committee, the minutes of August 22nd. Could we have a motion, please, for those? Thank you. Councillor Cernak. Seconded by Councillor Ford. Ready for the question? All in favor? Carried. Councillor Clark, any comments you'd like to add?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Just wanted to say that we are working through a new newsletter that'll go out to the communities. We haven't quite finalized it, but they've got a draft one here that it's going to kind of tell many of the, not everybody shows up at all the meetings so that they'll at least see what we're working on and how they can get a hold of people. So we're putting that together. There is a provincial conference, and James Trobert and I think he's a rep out of Mooseman are going up to, but it's in the northern part of the province. And I think we'll have some access to Minister Carr, who's now the highways minister. So hopefully we can have have her at some of our meetings as well. So everything is going well at that committee. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Councillor Clark. And maybe one thing we could bring to our MLA's attention is the road to Roch Percy. I know all of the surrounding communities, including the city of Estevan, supported the highways department giving that road some attention. It is in rough shape, and I know a lot of people, especially in the summer, love to take their kids to the Roch Percy rocks. So it would be nice, you know, from the whole general community if we could get that roadway repaired. Go ahead, Councillor Clark.
Thanks, Your Worship. Yes, that letter that we did was also forwarded to the Southeast Transportation Committee that endorsed it and sent it on to the government, and we've had raised it at the general meetings when people from highways are there.
Okay, appreciate your support. Thank you. Okay, next, under written reports of committees, we have from the Souris Valley Museum the request for funds to remediate a mold issue. Could we have a motion to accept that, please? Thank you. Councillor Frank, seconded by Councillor Cernick. Ready for the question? All in favor? Yes. Who's on that board? Councillor Roba. Did you want to tell us the sad tale of black mold?
It's not black mold.
Oh.
Just want to clarify that.
We stand corrected. That's
So-
good, because black mold is pretty bad.
Yeah, basically all it is that there was an issue in that room, and it was an issue with the air conditioner. So that is a city-owned facility, so I do recommend, I think the motion that should be on the floor right now is not just to accept the report, but also I'd like to make the motion that we actually do proceed with payment for that. It's just over $2,000, the invoice, but because it is a city-owned building, and I did speak with city manager, and we are going to put the facility on the inspection list so that it's actually inspected monthly, because we do rent technically not rent, but we provide the building for the art, or the Souris Valley Museum to be there, and same with the art gallery. So I think these buildings, if they're put on the monthly inspection list, if it's something that is caused by one of the groups that is renting one of these buildings, then I think they should be liable for paying these kind of repairs. But I think at this time, because it was not inspected prior to this being found, I believe it is something that we should pay. So that is the motion I'd like to make.
Okay, and we can treat that as a separate motion. And yes, we don't want anyone to get Legionnaire's disease coming out of the air conditioner, so that's probably a good decision. Councillor Froba. Have we got a seconder? Councillor Frank?
Wait,
What?
we have a motion already on the floor.
Okay, let's vote. Let's vote. Thank you, City Clerk. Let's vote on the first motion. All in favor?
Yeah.
Okay, second motion. Thank you, Councillor Froba. And I saw your little paw go up, Councillor Frank. Was that a seconder?
Yeah, I would second. I guess just my one response back, just in reading some of the direction from the museum, would be that, yeah, I do agree it's our building and we should maintain it. However, in most tenant-landlord agreements, regular maintenance and inspection is done by tenants, and I would think this is the same. For sure, we can have our staff going by, but I think as tenants, they should still make sure that they have the obligation of checking in on things and reporting back and working with us. This kind of seems a little bit more accusatory than it needed to be, but that's definitely, I agree, this is definitely our expense to fix, but I just want to make sure they know checking things like furnace filters and stuff is still something they can do in their routine maintenance as well, and give us a heads up if need be. So
yeah, thank you, Councillor Frank. I think what you're saying, they're the boots on the ground. We expect them to be observant and then relay any issues to us so we can deal with them.
absolutely.
Okay. Any further
Yeah,
questions?
no, I agree with Councillor Frank. I just think that moving forward, we need to be very clear with each group what they're in charge of, what they're not in charge of. You know, like she did mention in there about the air conditioner filters, and I do believe there was a volunteer that was actually helping them with that, but I also feel that if we have other buildings that are city-owned that have air conditioners, furnaces, everything like that, we have to make sure that we have a maintenance agreement with them. But if we are in charge of that, then they know full expectations of what's in charge, what's expected of them and whatnot. So I think moving forward, those of us that are on those boards can help work towards that, and I'm on that board, so I will, and same with the art gallery.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Broba. Any further questions or comments? Seeing none, ready for the question. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, next, under executive reports, we have the fire chief's report for June and July. City Clerk, can we make that one motion? Sure. Okay, we'll make that one motion. Do we have a motion? Thank you, Councillor Clark. Have we got a seconder? Councillor Ford, thank you for that. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, introduction of bylaws. This evening we have none. Public hearings and reports this evening we have none. Giving notice, none this evening. Motions from committee, none. Consideration, the building permit, I don't think, was that on here? Oh, it is. My bad. Here I am again. Under executive reports, after the fire chiefs, I should have fit in the building official. I was so busy going down the line, I missed it. So could we have a motion, please, under executive reports for the building permit report to be accepted? Thank you, accepted. Thank you, Councillor Walliser. Seconded by Councillor Cernick. Ready for the question? All in favor? Thank you. Then we'll go through the list again. Bylaws, none. Public hearings and reports, none. Giving notice, not this evening. Motions from committee, none. Consideration of bylaws, none. Inquiries, Councillor Froba.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just had the one with, we have our art gallery right now. We have the artist that there is Gianna Dunbar. And so on September 15th, they're extending an invitation to the community to come to a meet and greet.
Is that Linda's daughter?
I don't know. With Gianna.
No, I see head shaking.
No,
okay.
I believe she's from Regina. So I don't know if she originated from this area, but she has a exhibition out right now over at the art gallery, and it's called Alternative. And it's open September 8th, and they'll go till the 15th, I believe, where she's going to have the meet and greet. So, and she's working on a very nice mural as well. So if anybody would like to come out on the 15th, the mural will be completed, I believe, and we can meet there. So 6:30 to 8:30, it would be nice for everyone to just come out, support the art gallery, and do something fun on a Friday night.
Thank you, Councillor Vroba. And where's the mural at the building?
It is actually, they have it hanging right now, but I believe she's still working on it.
Awesome. Yeah. That'll be great. We all love murals.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Clark.
Thanks, Your Worship. Just wanted to pass on that there's a steak night coming up at Legion on Saturday, September 16th. They're doing some pre-sale until the 14th. So any support council or the community could give them, they would be much appreciated. And it should be a good evening. It's $20 per person and 6 to 8 on Saturday, September 16th. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. The Legion does a lot of good in our community, so let's come out and support Frosty and the gang, and that would be much appreciated. Councillor Walliser.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Estevan Humane Society held their annual duck derby this weekend. They did manage to sell out of ducks. 3,000 ducks dropped into the Still River, and it was a very successful fundraiser with lots of community partners joining together. So thanks to the community for supporting that.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Councillor Walliser. That was a great community event. Councillor Ford?
I have nothing tonight, Your Worship.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Cerny?
Thank you, Your Worship. I had numerous inquiries today into the government's denial of the donation for the MRI machine. So while most of the inquiries want to know if it was true, it is true, and I can just say that the city and the surrounding RMs are showing their support for it, for the government to reverse their decision, and it's in the government's court, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that. It's very important. As our community knows, we raised the money for the CT scan and a year's funding. And now, thanks to the goodwill of Elaine Wacom, she's willing to pay the bulk of the MRI. So hopefully with the community support, I did talk to her MLA, Ms. Carr, and she does want it to go through, and I appreciate that this council sent it to the hospital board. Now it'll be going through there with their comments. I understand, I hope it'll be coming back to us, and hopefully by that time she will be giving it the attention that it deserves. Thank you. Councillor Frank.
Thanks, Your Worship. Yeah, mine was actually just on the same thing. Just, we respect that there's obviously a lot more decisions than just purchasing the equipment, but that the province would come to the table and have a conversation with us, because we would, yes, I had a lot of phone calls and texts about that today, and that's certainly something we would like to see in our community, and we would like to work with the province any way we can to make it happen. So,
absolutely, and anytime you have a good citizen that's willing to step forward, I think it's important that the government also comes forward and helps to make that happen. Good point. City Manager.
Thank you, Your Worship. In addition to the duck derby this weekend, the Estevan and Weyburn Rotary Clubs had their annual golf ball drop up in Weyburn, and again, that was successful, and we did have the first prize winner was in Estevan, and the other two were in Weyburn. So, again, thanks for the support.
Awesome. Who was the lucky winner?
Mr. Ryan Olson.
Ryan Olson.
Amanda's brother.
Amanda's brother. Well, look at that. Amanda is so lucky, Councillor Frank. You have to buy more tickets.
You need to call on him to share that money for me to agree with you.
Okay. Anyone else? Trudy, anything you'd like to mention? No? Okay. City Clerk, anything?
Nothing, Your Worship.
Okay. With that, I guess, I know it's been a fairly quick meeting, but do we have a motion to move into committee? Thank you, Councillor Frank. Seconded by, thank you, Councillor Cernick. Ready for the question? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. We stand adjourned. Good evening.
If you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today